Hello YouTube, D-Tekken here, and when I first booted up the Duel Links app, this is what I saw. All these brand new things, and there's a lot I want to talk about. First and foremost, we're getting a new Forbidden Limitless on March 9th. And I haven't looked at it yet, so this is technically going to be my first time seeing it. But before that, there's a few things I do want to mention. First things first, up in the card trader shop, there Fish Depth Charge, which I believe was a Mako level award, or it was a 1-up somewhere. Now we're going to be able to get multiple copies of this card, and it's basically a fish Icarus attack. You sack a fish to pop a card of your opponent's control, and you draw a card. Which, that small little interaction, that can go far, especially since the target one card isn't restricted to monster card, isn't restricted to back row. It's very versatile, so if your opponent tries to interrupt your plays, you can just sack a fish and just pop a card. Which is going to make Shark Territory so much more scarier, and Shark Territory is going to be getting a whole lot of scary things, nevertheless, but that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is kind of minor, but also kind of major at the same time, and it's the change to Shark Caesar. Now, Shark Caesar is a rank 3 Exceed monster that's going to be coming out in the next box, which, hey, that's the next thing I'm going to talk about, but they're changing its summoning requirements from 3 or more to 3 monsters, which makes sense. Duel Links, you only have 3 monster zones, so having the plus 3 doesn't really make sense in Duel Links standards. However, that also kind of implies to me that down the line, they're not going to be adding the extra monster zone. Or, if anything, if they do ever add the extra monster zone is never going to be used for, like, Synchro monsters or Exceed monsters, or Synchro monsters or Fusion monsters, because technically with the extra monster zone, that's 4 monster zones you can take advantage of. So if they're making this change specifically, that tells me that if they ever do include the extra monster zone into Duel Links, it's only going to be for Link monsters, and I guess that makes sense because of how Link arrows work. Because if you only had the main monster zones on both sides of the field, then something like Decode Talker, which has an up arrow and a down left and a down right, doesn't really make sense because you can't take advantage of it. So on the one hand, it's a cosmetic change that makes sense, but it has more implications than it should. So I don't know how to feel about that. However, what I do feel about is the new box that's coming basically tomorrow. Atomic Theory. Now, I don't normally talk about boxes, but when I basically see first MST coming in the game, wow, okay, so this is basically going to be an immediate upgrade over Cosmic Cyclone, because this is a quick spell that pops spell and trap cards. No longer do you have to pay that extra 1,000 from Cosmic Cyclone. Now, there are some cards you do still want to banish, like the Machine Angel Ritual or etc. And there are certain cards that give themselves protection from popping, so it's going to be a toss-up, but MST is just massive. Not only that, King of the Feral Imps. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, talking a little bit personal, I haven't really been to a whole lot of, real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! Events. I've been to, 1 or 2. But the one I went to, I played Satellar Knights. And this is going to sound stupid, but my opening turn play in a introduction Shaddoll era, which is not smart, but my opening play was to always go King of the Feral Imps, because King of the Feral Imps can search you a monster called Kageto Kage, and Kageto Kage, if you're familiar with rank 4 decks, basically says when you normal summon a monster, or normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So in basically a debut Satellar Knight deck, that gave me that if I opened Vega plus a Neb, I can go into King of Feral Imps. The Neb lets me search Altier, go into King of Feral Imps detached into Neb, search Kageto Kage, and since I already had Altier and Kageto Kage in my hand, with 5 monster zones, with 4 extra zones, next turn I can normal summon the Altier, trigger its effect onto the Neb in the graveyard, and then trigger Kageto Kage in my hand to summon it, and then go straight into the Teros. So, and if I didn't actually want to do that, what I could also do was play this really niche monster that I don't think anyone was really using, but I used it and it confused the crap out of everyone, called Gentlemander, which basically was a card blocker. When your opponent declares attack, you summon it from your hand and it blocks the attack. But it's Reptile, so it worked. It was really stupid, really annoying, but I'm really excited for King of the Feral Imps, nevertheless. So it's going to make I don't think it makes a lot of Reptile-themed decks a lot better, And it's an opening play you can make for it's a Teller Knight tech that isn't the Dark Teller deck. The Dark Teller monster that just upgrades itself. Upgrades itself into Delteros. So there's that. However, there's also Bahamut Shark. Why is Shark Territory getting so many things? So Bahamut Shark says detach materials to special summon a rank 3 or lower water exceed monster from your extra deck. It can't. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn, but it doesn't really matter. You can summon the. Oh gosh, you can summon. There's a rank 3 shark. There's a rank 3 shark you can summon, and I think there's some sort of full armored monster in Duel Links right now. So Shark Territory gets more. It's getting more things. Why is Shark Territory getting more things? It gives Shark Territory access to rank 3 monsters that. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Also, Tech Genius, I believe a mini Tech Genius engine as well as... Okay, no, an expanding Tech Genius engine as well as Burning Abyss is all coming to Duel Links. That's really crazy, especially since Burning Abyss is kind of... I believe it's roguish right now in the actual card game. I haven't been following that for a while, so... Yeah, also Gigabyte, I saw that. That's Gigabyte. There's another card you can also special summon when you have a spellcaster on your field. So yeah, this box is actually pretty crazy. It's a main box too, so... Oh, geez. Now, let's actually talk about the Forbidden Limitless, because there's a couple things I want. I want Karma Cut Hit. Like, Blue Eyes has easy chances to brick, but its main culprit, the main problem with Blue Eyes is just that turn 1 Karma Cut discard stone to not only get rid of your monster, but then get Spirit to get rid of your back row. Again, they +1 off of giving you -2. If that could be fixed in some way, that'd be amazing. Like maybe semi-limit Karma Cut and semi-limit the Ancient Stone, or even demi-limit it. I wouldn't care as much. But this is what I'm excited about. This is my first impression of it. Let's see what this is. Oh. What? What is that thing? Tribute a plant monster. Special summon 2 plant tokens to your opponent's side of the okay, why? This card is being limited to weaken the strategy that hinder opponent's abilities to summon special summon tokens summoned by special summoning tokens to their side of the field. Okay. I mean, sure. If someone can explain this to me, go ahead. I'm trying to... Was this used in Air Mage? Was this used in... Like, who is using this? Like, I guess maybe it's a preempt hit. But, no, seriously, someone tell me. Like, this is not a card I expected, but... Okay. Starting out with Misjudge. Misjudge, this card will be limited so that it cannot be played along with Cup of Ace. Thank you! Oh my gosh. Okay, so first turn Pot of Greed is... already annoying as it is, but then going on to this card, and that's that's your 3 coin tosses you get from Master of Destiny. That is well justified. That is thankful. Oh my gosh. I mean, granted, the way you play around Misjudge is that you just don't play anything. Like, Misjudge, she's pretty beefy at 1800, so if you summon something that's bigger and you just run over her, you got it. Like, not to mention, if they have already used their Cup of Ace for turn, and you find a way to make them use 1 more coin toss, well, then Misjudge has a 50-50 shot of actually using her effect. Sorry. So, there's that. Oh, and head judging too. Of generic rank level 2s. Okay, there we go. Cup of Ace, Misjudge, and head judging. Now, head judging is very good. I just never think it's good against, never good in Sartorius, because, like, if you draw it early on and attempt to use it, you're gonna be flipping heads. Your first 3 coin tosses are heads. Why would you play that? Like, I had somebody in the Casey Cup who I clearly caught cheating because he only activated 1 heads and then he activated head judging. And, like, it should have been a heads, but it got tails. It's like, hey, no, that's not how that works. So, combining this with Misjudge, yeah, okay, I guess, I mean, Desperado is kind of like the it's meant to be like an anti-Blue Eyes strategy, isn't it? So, why are they hitting that instead of Blue Eyes? That makes no sense. Also, okay, but more importantly, Onslaught. The limitation of this card will be eased as the power level has accepted its current metagame. Yeah, that's actually kind of fair. Like, if they don't hit Karma Cut, then yeah, like, having more cards that do banish more things just makes players get main deck more options to recur their banish options. So if there's more decks that are banishing more things, I get that makes sense too. I mean, Amazon has always been annoying to play against, but again, next box we're getting MST, and the big problem with Onslaught was back in the day there wasn't a whole lot of outs that didn't require like a there wasn't a whole lot of decks that had main deck outs to Onslaught other than just burn through it. So yeah, okay, this is gonna be interesting nonetheless. Oh, okay, Rose Lover is coming off the list. Yeah, Rose Lover was limited around the time Sylvan was in the game, so I guess they're considering Sylvan being an okay power level again. Not to mention, it will also make I guess that technically also buffers our Romage decks, which I do see on occasion. Okay, and not to mention, I believe there's also some plant support coming in the next box. Okay, a lot of things coming down the light pipeline, and that's it. Wait, what? Wait, what? They're not. Hold up. They go out of their way to hit a counter blue eye strategy, but they don't hit the actual blue eye strategy. What? What? Why? Like, I'm not even talking about blue eye specifically. I'm mostly just talking about Karma Cut. Like if Ancient Stone can be demi-limited and Karma Cut can get demi-limited, that means blue eyes players would already have one Karma Cut and two stones they would run versus or just 3 stones. Like, wait, what? Why? What's going on? I mean, okay, now looking at Bamboo Scrap, I guess, yeah, okay, Bamboo Scrap is just a preemptive. Okay, that makes sense, but really now, I mean, like, the tokens, sure, I mean, why though? Like, that's a perfect counter to Blue Ice decks. Like, your opponent has a 1 set card, and they've activated card to constant, discard Stone, and face Stone activates to summon their Blue Eyes. You flip Bamboo Scrap to, like, summon 2 tokens, and they prevent them from summoning their Blue Eyes, right? So, why? Like, that forces Blue Eye players to, like, main deck, it forces the main deck, like, or main extra deck, Formula Synchron or Reciprofly so that they can, use their tuner monster and one of these tokens. Or better, like, or even better, like, these tokens right here, they can still be tributed. Yeah, they can still be tributed. So, like, any deck that's running a high-level monster doesn't really care for this card. They can just sack them tokens for their monsters. Like, unless you're going immediately back into Lava Golem with this card, in which case, I believe I don't remember what the hit on Lava Golem, but, I don't know. Like, if anything, this card, I don't know. So I do like Misjudge, and head judging I don't mind, but, like, why? Like, are they just ignoring Blue Eyes? They're seriously not hitting Blue Eyes. Okay, tell me the skills are at least are different. Like, what's going on with the skills? Okay. Transcendent Crystals, Iron Cell, and Cubic Seeds. We are strengthening these character-exclusive skills. Why? Wait. Transcendent Crystals is already really good. Master Destiny. This skill is given a harder... Oh, wow, okay. Okay. It's given a harder activation condition as more cards that work well with the card has been added to the game. What grows in the grave? The skill is given a hard... Okay, thank you. I think I mentioned in my Casey Cup video that I faced someone who literally used Grow in the Grave and made a first turn Barkion. Like, okay. Hard activation as we are planning to add more cards that strengthen plant-type cards in the near future. More ways to utilize Dark Verdure in the Grave has become available since the addition of the game. See you later. This skill is given a harder activation condition as it can be used to gain large advantage over the opponent. Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, I guess... I believe that was used in Mokuba Thunder Dragons, which, by the way, can I just talk about how Thunder Dragons aren't being hit either? Like, what's going on? Why isn't, like, the 2 most annoying decks not being hit? Like, I mean, granted, with Blue Eyes, you can't really do much against Blue Eyes because their opening play is literally just discard Stone. Like, it doesn't have to be Karma Cut. It can be Raigeki Break. It can be so much about other things. So, whatever. Balance. Okay. As the addition of recent cards have given the decks more ability to almost ensure victory with certain combination of cards, we are giving a harder activation condition to the skill preset to prevent the emergence of overpowered Wait, what? Dude, no. What? Balance has been hit so many times. Like, Balance originally did not have the fact that you needed 6 monsters, 6 spells, 6 traps. It was originally like, hey, however your deck is structured, balance will give you an opening hand based on that. That's how balance originally was, and it made Magical Triangle. It made Magical Triangle Ice Barrier decks really annoying because they would almost always have three Ice Barriers and Magical Triangle to pop an opponent's card, summon big beaters, and just beat down the opponent. And then since balance got changed, that you couldn't do that strategy anymore. So, and it made it more difficult to actually make it viable. So, how in the world? What? Restart spell specialist, trap layer, my monster cards, and heavy start. At the addition of recent cards have given more decks the ability to almost ensure victory. What? Okay, what? Again, restart is another skill they've hindered a whole bunch of times. Like, originally, restart was just like a free reset. Then it became you can't draw on your first turn. Like, what are they doing? Okay, can be used turn 3 and onward by sending 1 to 3 cards. Oh, whoa. To your hand or the graveyard. Choose the same number of crystal pieces from your deck and the number of cards sent. The graveyard, place them in your spell trapper zone. If you begin the duel with a deck that has 7 or more crystal piece monsters, you can use the skill regardless of the current. Okay. I like that and hate that at the same time. Like, the fact that you have to use it turn 3 and onward, yeah, okay, fine. But the fact of the matter is, 1 per turn, twice per duel. Okay, so it benefits Crystal Beast decks, and it also it gives more versatility to decks that utilize cards in the spell and trap card. Like, a lot of the time, people were splashing in Transcendent Crystals just to combo with Raigeki Break. Crystal Raigeki, I mean. So that you not only get a card in your graveyard to then use with Crystal Raigeki to pop that and pop your opponent cards. Okay, sure. Iron Call can only be used the next turn after you have activated Iron Call. Okay. Return 1 Machine Knight monster from your hand to the deck, then return 1 Iron Call from your grave to your hand. This skill can only be used 1 per duel. Okay. I kind of don't remember Iron Call off the top of my head, like, but sure. Cubic Seeds. At the beginning of the duel, add 3 Vion the Cubic Seeds to your deck. Oh, okay, sure. This skill can only be used if you begin the duel with a deck or extra deck contains no monsters other than cubic monsters in addition to the number of spell. In addition, the number of spell and trap cards that are not cubic monsters must be 6 or lower. Okay, Cubic is a weird deck that I've not experimented with, so I don't know how. Like, I know you definitely need 3 of the Vision Cube, so getting more copies of that is nice, but we'll see if that's good or not. Like, Okay, let's read this. When you toss a coin, the result will always be heads for the first 3 coin tosses. Your first normal draw will be skipped. Oh, whoa. Okay, that means first turn. That means you want to go first turn. Wait, first normal draw. Oh, whoa. That means if you go first, you only have 4 cards in your hand. The skill will only activate if you begin the duel with a deck that has 7 or more cards with different names that require coin tosses. Okay, wasn't that 5 before? So did they up the number of cards? And then not only that, they've also restricted the number of coin toss cards you can play with Misjudge and head tossing, as well as the fact that, like, your Pot of Greed essentially with Cup of Ace, like, they are really trying to neuter this. Wow. Okay. Like, I guess they're trying to make it, like, play more Arcana cards, but at the same time, like, sure? Alright, what's this one? Can be used when your life points decrease by 1500. Add Dark Verger to your grave from outside of your deck. This skill can only be used once per duel. Okay. That's definitely better, because again, first turn Barkion is very annoying, especially when you already have those 2 cards in your graveyard. And the 1500 prevents you from using, like, Cosmic Cyclone. So you have to do some shenanigans in order to actually pull it off. Okay, that's not as bad. See you later. Can be used when your life points decrease by 1500. Okay. Select 1 monster you control, which you are the original owner of. Return the selected monster to the hand. Skill can only be used once per duel. Okay. That makes some more back and forth with Mokuba Dragon Duel, Thunder Dragon decks, but okay. But Thunder Dragon doesn't really need that because they're playing Chaos, so varies. Balance. What do they do this card? What do they do? Your starting hand will reflect the card balance of your deck. The skill will not activate unless you have at least six of each type of card, monster, spell, trap, in your deck. You cannot special summon or activate monster effects until the end of the main phase of your first turn. What? Well then, why play that? Like, until the end of your main phase. Okay, but like... like... I guess this is because of, I guess this is because of Noble Knights. In which case, you can't, like, do Noble Knight shenanigans as much. So... okay. But, like, what about... That kind of makes this, like, other than Noble Knights, it kind of makes the skill unplayable. Like, why would you do that? Like, okay, sure. How do they neuter this thing? Can be used only once after starting hands are drawn. Reduce your starting hand by 1 and then redraw your hand. Redraw your hand. You cannot special summon or activate monster... Why are they doing this? Why would you play these skills then? Okay, at least... okay, so at least... okay, at least you can still draw on your first turn, but it's still the same difference. Like, you're still going down one card. You're not going to be able to, like, play off it. Like, if it didn't have this second effect right here, I wouldn't have minded as much, but what in the world? What are they doing? Hold on, spell specialist. Okay. If your deck contains 5 or more spell cards with different names, you improve chances of having spell cards in your starting hand. You do not special summon or activate monster effects. If they're playing that for Dark Magician decks, that doesn't really matter. Like Dark Magician decks at most maybe use first turn Rod, but other than that, like, no, they activate circle, set navigate, pass turn. They don't care about their turn 1 play, so that doesn't do much. Like, what in the world? I guess maybe that's also a hit for, like, Spellbook at the same time, so you can't, like, turn 1 Blue Boy? Like, I don't know, like, Trap Layer. Okay, that's... Trap cards are definitely getting a little more prevalent. I'm 50-50 on that, but still, my monster cards. Okay. If your deck has 6 or more level 4 monsters in your opening hand, you have a better chance of having level 4 in your opening hand. You cannot special summon or activate monster effect. Why? Then when you play these skills, you're making these skills unplayable. Like, people want to play their stuff turn 1, but you're saying you can't do your stuff turn 1, so it's like, what are you supposed to do? Play Boujins? Like, because, again, Boujin can take advantage of this. Boujin doesn't care. Like, okay. Heavy Starter, 3 more level 5 monster in your deck. You have improved chance of opening it. You can't special summon or activate monster effects. Okay, well then why would you play that? Like, I guess you would play that in, like, Blue Eyes decks to be able to get access to alternative white, and then be able to special summon that on the turn 2 to be able to go against your opponent with that. I guess now you can't do that. Like, so against Blue Eye players, still opening hand would be the low-level monster, which, if you want a low-level monster instead of high-level monster, then why would you play that? Like, okay. Yeah, okay, so that's the skill rebalances, that's the new cards. It started out great, and then it just got bad. Whoa, what is going on? What is going on? Like, they didn't touch Thunder Dragons. They didn't touch Blue Eyes. They're hitting a lot of skills that were okay to begin with, but now they're just straight neutering them. Like, now they're just bad to play. Like, why? Like, does it incentivize players to, like, use, like, the character exclusive skills as well versus the generic skills? Like, what's next? Are they going to neuter, like, Life Boost Alpha, all the Life Boost Alpha to be like, you can't no more special summon on that turn too? Like, what are they doing? Like, that's not balancing the game. That's just making things more annoying. But that's just my thoughts. That's just my first impression. After March 9th, maybe that'll be a blessing in disguise, but what do you think? Do you like these changes? Do you wish they did something different? Like, I wish they did many things different, but let me know in the comments, and hope you have a good day. Whoa, wow.